and Bitcoin's climbing ever so slightly. Hope you're well. Welcome to a bit of a scan. I'm going to go through the contracts that I like to trade, and yeah, you can get on board and see what we've got here. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I would appreciate that. And let's start with Bitcoin and having a quick look at what the top 10 is doing. As you can see, a bit of a mixed bag. Not too much movement at the moment. So we're going to go and have a look at what's actually happened here. Of course, yesterday I talked about the breakout of the new highs and sort of saying goodbye to 50,000. We saw that 3.8% move a couple of days back. Yesterday closed at 1.68, and I'd really like to see something substantial in Bitcoin. And what I mean by that is I'd like to see a 5% plus day. That could set the whole world on fire, really. That's what I'm hoping for. But in the same, it hasn't done that yet. But in the same respect, what we have got here is we've got a much better trend. Higher low, and we saw the higher low, higher high here, it failed. Then we popped up again. Pull back, bullish candle in the cradle, moving to new highs. The cyclicity is great. And although there's not the clearest of trading opportunities with this trend at the moment, mainly because of whatever it was that made the market go, at that time, I got taken out of my 1 inch trade. I was hoping to get a runner on it, but made some money on it. It covered the losses on another trade that I took on it yesterday as well, so that was good. But yeah, look, overall, excuse me, overall looks pretty good. The market looks really healthy. Now, earlier this morning, I was looking at, say, the 30 and the 15-minute charts for pullbacks into this zone to get long. Now, I didn't take anything on the 15 here, just basically because it was a bit rounded. It pulled back, moved up, pulled back. It wasn't very clear here for me. I got Bob, Jana, Steve, Roku, Heidi, Ray, Niels, Jeff. Yeah, it just didn't quite give me what I wanted in here. Oh, that's better. Higher low here now, pushing to a higher high. What I'm really hopeful to see today with Bitcoin is to see some really nice cyclicity coming on the lower time frames, which opens up lower time frame trading opportunities in the breakout, in the booster, and in the cradle. What we've been seeing of late has been a lot of consolidation. Then we break up, and when we break up with a lot of pace, and then we get messy. Then we started to get some cyclicity through here. We've broken up, got a bit messy. I'd like to see it really start to carry its way through and get some really nice cyclicity on that 15. Now, if it were to pull back on the half hour here, I'm not interested because it's already had a semi pullback here. If it were to pull back on the 1 hour, I don't believe I'll be interested because we're divergent. So it's really those lower time frames that I'm hopeful to see play out today. And push this higher, so it gives our 4 hour the opportunity for a pullback and a trade there on that time frame. So overall, though, it's pretty rosy out there. The market looks good. Bitcoin's pushed on, and we've got some more upside that we've seen over the last couple of days. So let's go ahead and have a look at what's in the market. I'm focusing myself on good trends. Real simple stuff. Now here's that 1 inch trade I talked to you about. Little cradle back here. I raised my stop up to here last night about 8:30 or something like that, and I got stopped out. But there was profit in that. I'll also tell you that I did take this as well yesterday, and I got stopped out of that before it moved higher, and then that big move was, and we'll see that factor across many of the charts in this list today. Have a look. It's a 11.5% move in a very short space of time. Now, I'm not sure what caused that, but have a look at it. It's actually pretty much over an hour we saw, those 4 candles, which took off 11.5%. It's a big move in a short space of time. And if I jump across to AVE, you'll see, look at this. If I go quickly now, look. Something occurred, not on everything, but something occurred that drove that market to sell off. So let's keep looking for trends and looking for opportunities. There's not really anything there on that 8 that I'm all that interested in. AVE, again, very, very messy. I want to see daily trend and at least 4 hour trend backing that up. Cardano is very sideways. There's not a great deal going on there as it holds up or just below $3. ACLX had a good move late last week, but since then, very little. It's a messy looking chart. I do like AlgoPerp. Actually, yeah. Oh, geez, who's in that? I forgot about that position. I didn't raise the order on it. There must be a few that are in it because I remember talking about it on one of my members' videos. 38. That's not bad, is it? Yeah. Anyway, I just saw that and went, oh, Algo's move. Well, I'm sure there was a trade available there. Not one that I took again, but it was available. So Algo around here, good 4-hour trend. Let's just move lower. Yeah, nice, Nathan. Very well played. I do like Algo here. I'm actually going to match. I'm going to go blue. You know, a pullback into this cradle zone would be really, really nice from here. The 2-hour, kind of go low to high. Let's look lower again. Yeah, okay. Again, it's kind of similar to that of Bitcoin when I say that I want to see a step out of the cyclicity. So we've got these they've got a higher low and a higher high, but I want to see it move further, get a bit more momentum behind that, and a little bit better. Cyclicity. I'm going to leave it in the list though because it still stands up on its own on the 4-hour if it were to pull back, and obviously, excuse me. Obviously, if we did start to see this push on, we might get lower time frame opportunities there as well. Alpha, not very good at all. Alt perp needs to push on higher. We've got divergence on these two highs, so it's a no for me there. Ample fourth, just straight up sideways. We've pulled in, excuse me, but one quick shot up yesterday, followed by nothing to really work with. Atom, flat again. Audio, flat to sideways. AVAX, very sideways. AXS, very sideways. Badger, no interest. And yes, we can make decisions this quickly because we know we're looking for trends. And if there is no trend, there is nothing there to really look at, nothing to go deep on. Yeah, nothing there. Yes, I'll get to dot. As you can see, this is alphabetical order, and D is after B. And there it is just down here. So I shall get to dot. Yes, I will. Banned. Now this thing, look at that for a crazy spike. What was that? Again, just showing that period of time where we did see that big spike. 11.5% there too. Just a big, horrible spike. And this is what we saw this morning when I did my scan with on live trading floor. Was that this candle and that price action, it's wiped out a lot of these charts because now we've just got this big spike and it just kind of killed it. Nothing there, obviously. We got a mess. We got Bayo, which is also not doing much. Basic attention token, if anything, could be available there on that 8-hour. It would need to come back down, and I want it in here somewhere because here's a spike here. I'll pop it in. It's got a fair bit of work to do, a fair bit of time to wait for that. But yes, if it pulls back, it could certainly set up something nice for us. Same with Bitcoin Cash, really. The higher low and higher high on the daily, dig a little bit deeper into the lower time frames, and you'll see the 4-hour, although not a very pretty trend. We had a pullback, we pushed to a higher high, and then we saw this, whatever we want to call that, the mess, really. There's nothing of real interest there and a long way to go for that 4-hour to get us into the zone. So I won't be putting that in. Binance also still sideways. Bancor is it's moving nicely. You can see here it's again the 8 hours the time frame, but it's got to move better. It's got to move further. We had good cyclicity through here. I want to see that evolve on Bancor, so there's nothing there for me. Amazingly, BSV is actually moving. It moves a lot. It tends to move down a lot, and then it goes through these. It just for some reason it has this massive pressure to sell off. I don't, you hear all the BSV, I don't know, cheer squad saying how great BSV is. That's fine. Maybe the technology is fantastic, but I tell you what, it really hasn't been. The market hasn't really decided that it wants it. Look at it. Look at how terribly it moves. We don't tend to get trends here. We just get sharp runs high and sharp runs down, followed by a long period of bugger all. So to actually see it trending is quite amazing. Higher low, higher high. Let's have a look. Again, there's that spike. That spike just ruined everything. Maybe the 12-hour, a long time to wait. It's not there as a point of interest for me. Whoops. BitTorrent, no thank you. Cake, again, needs to step out, get that cyclicity pumping. Chili's, very messy again. There's that big candle, wrecked that chart, wrecked comp as well. Convergence. No. I was just saying if there might have been something down here. There really isn't. Look, it's consolidating, but as far as an actual workable level, it's not there for me. It's not there for me. CRV, sorry, Cream, not CRV. Popping up, nothing to work with. Crypto.com's had a great run. 10% yesterday, 8% the day before. It just keeps on running. So here's a good one to go to the lower time frames for. Let's see how low we can go. There hasn't been that many opportunities really for cradles. I mean, there was a really nice one over here at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I wasn't there. Which would have, I mean, you'd still be in trailing your stop along the way. Damn. That would have been a very good position. This is why I do like intraday trading. Of course, we manage our risk the same as with any position. You know, you maximum 1% risk, but look at where your stop would be there now. That is 13.7 to 1. Risk $100, 1,300 back. Obviously, if you scale out, it would be slightly less than that. But a very nice move nevertheless. Yeah, it has been a belter a few days. Of course, there's not really much. I mean, if it pulls back into the 2, there was an opportunity. Oh, no, there wasn't. Sorry. Bit mushy. This candle here, that was bullish. So was that. So there was an opportunity. And again, a massive move, massive move. But there's nothing all that exciting right now. Although, just trying to work out, if it pulled back in a little bit further, would I be keen on that? Well, it's not pulled back in yet, but if it did pull back in and I was keen, then I would be keen. So I'm just going to put it in and keep an eye on that. CRV, Messi, Dash, Messi on Dawn, DeFi, that big spike again. We're divergent on these highs here as well, and not overly attractive. Dent's a mess. Dodo's a mess. Doge. Doge. No, there's nothing there. Nothing there. Oh, okay, Darren, London 2019. Geez, that feels like a long time ago. Don't know if I'll ever be allowed out of this country to go back to London, to be honest. Maybe they will permit me to do something that I would like to do, travel, but unlikely, very unlikely. Okay, we got resistance, but we don't have much else, you know. Let's look at that daily, because DOT, yeah, it's not been too bad. It's had a really good run, obviously. The trends are good on the daily. I'd actually love to see it come back into $30 on the daily and give me a cradle. We just sort of had this real grindy barcode looking move over the last week or so. Not much to really work with at this stage on DOT. Now, Dragon would have been great if that candle was down here, but it's not. Ooh. Yeah, there's a little break there. The thing I like about flat levels is their opportunity for 3 trading strategies, all 3 that I teach. One is the Bitcoin breakout, the second is the crypto cradle, and the third is the Bitcoin booster. The Fibonacci booster. We got a little pullback here. If we come up and start to really consolidate along that level, then there could be a breakout on. If not, push above, pull back, that could open up opportunities. I'm going to pop that in. It will either occur relatively quickly or it won't, and will invalidate itself. Elrond, very much like DOT, really. It's had a really good run, pushed up, but not much in the last week or so. Engine's pretty flat. EOS has definitely got the motor running. But again, look at this messiness up here. Look at this on the 1 hour. Ooh, what a mess. Mess. Not one for me. The 8 hour is the only option. Again, it's going to take some time. I'll pop it in. I might thin the list out depending on how much we have at the end here. With resistance up ahead, do I like it? Well, look, I'm not going to put that in. I think we've got better options out there. The 8 could show up later on. With Ethereum, again, big pop up. Very little in the way of volatility over the last few days since that breakup. And if you have a look here, the level's not really it's not a solid enough level. You can quite clearly see that there is something going through there. But there it is there, roughly. It's not really a breakout level for me because it's not defined enough. With that being said, no, Johnny, I'm well, thanks, mate. With that being said, a push up through that and a pull back into that level, that that could certainly play its part. I'll keep an eye. No, I won't. It's a top 10. I'm going to know. I always look at the top 10. So, yeah, I don't need to put that in the list. I'll just keep an eye on that. If it was to come up through that level and pullbacks into there could be good. Oh, exchange perp has moved, which makes me suggest that we've probably got FTT kicking on. We'll see that shortly. Maybe Horby or OKB as well. But, you little rat bag. Yeah, see? Big no, big splat. And then it rolled itself back in. It wasn't the 1 hour I was hopeful on. It was the 2. Just didn't give it. Let's go lower. No cyclicity. Bow, nothing to do, Come back later. Bond feeder keeps moving really, really, really well. Jump lower again. Low, 30. Nah, it's not really got what I'm after. Once again, I am being picky because I can. It's my money. Trade what I want. How I want. Flamingo. That was a heck of a spike. Let's have a look just how far that was in a short period of time. Okay, so we're talking about over 2 hours. 16.7. Does anyone know what that was, by the way? What caused that ginormous sell-off on many? Many alts flows, nothing. Phantom, hasn't this been a cracker since this cradle back here? Now, I will say this, at the time, that candle was too big for my appetite. You've got to compare it to the recent candles, but look at the volatility that's come in since. I mean, we've seen multiple double-figure positive days. Really? No liquidity. Yeah, fair enough, Winston. I don't think I've traded it before. Phantom, look, I'm cool for it if it keeps kicking on, but we're divergent there. So again, another one that's, kind of close but no cigar. And there it is, as suspected. FTT having a good bounce. Sorry, not a bounce, but a good push higher there. Just rocketing off. Again, just a straight line. There's nothing I can do with that. I need cyclicity. I need to have higher lows and higher highs. Hedera. I was watching this level this morning. All right. The issue that I had was that I didn't get the third test. Test 1. I wanted to have a couple more up here. When it didn't do that, it just blasted straight up through. So that's kind of killed that chart for me for the time being. All right, so nothing really of interest there for me. Now, if it does put, actually, you know what? It's going to take a little while, but we've got a higher low now and a higher high, and we are convergent. If this is to pull back and give me a small bullish candle off of there, then you can bet your bottom dollar I'll be on it. Looks like it might be a 61.8% fib too. Something close to it, but anyway. Yeah, bang on the nose. Beautiful. I'll keep an eye on that. Helium, flat. Holy Trinity has had a huge move. Let's go lower. Yeesh. That ain't very pretty. Again, really nice move, but we've just got to get, the market's just got to get in step with itself, get that cyclicity in there. It's not there. We're just seeing these big runoffs, We haven't had too many lower time frame trading opportunities for a little while now, and that's because the trends have not really hung in there for very long, and if they have, they've been better for the higher time frame, the swing trading time frames. It's trending, the 8 hour, sure, but it's got such a long way to go before that 8 hour actually comes into the right space that I can leave it. Hump is nothing. IOTA, again, another example of just the market just going in a straight line for a prolonged period of time, then slowing up, like up 14, then up 36, then up 26, then nothing much. Carver, nah. Oh, that was good. I can leave that behind too. Kyber, unfortunately, that big spike killed it again because we actually didn't have too bad a trend. Now look at this 8. I'd love to have seen it come down here and then we get this little candle next because I'd have an order in. But we don't. And I don't. There you go. Kusama. Again, not quite there. It's kind of, everything's sort of on the verge a little bit. I'd like to just see the market let go, just let itself go and just take off. Another big spike there that killed that trend. There's nothing there for me on Link either. And for those of you who are watching this, you might be new to my methodology, I suppose, and you're thinking, geez, there's not much that he likes. Yeah, that's right. One of the most important aspects that I teach, I believe anyway, is that you don't actually need to be taking lots of trades. You can do, and if that's your appetite, go for it. But for me, and the way that I'm comfortable and how I trade and have been for simple, it's changed a lot over 16 years, I will tell you that. When I was a bit younger and trading was my sole income, I would trade a lot. It didn't mean I got better results though. It just meant I was busying myself with the markets. Now I trade windows. I know when the candles are going to close and I come back for those closes. So you can see here, the next time this 8 hour candle closes, it will be 6 p.m. tonight. So that could be a bullish candle in the cradle on Litecoin. It does have a high low and a higher high, and our daily is in an uptrend and it is also convergent. Now the thing is, it would be sort of sitting relatively high up here, but I won't rule it out at this stage. Have you checked out Meta Hero before? I have no idea what that is, no. Nothing on Lunar Maps. Problem with Maps is it's super thin. Super thin. Nothing on Mid Maker. Now, I was watching Maker on this level, and it could still occur. It could still set up. It's got a long way to go. But here's something else that I do like to look of. Weekly. Bullish candle right there in that cradle zone. So I quite like the look of that. Now, it's not going to be likely to fill anytime soon or trade anytime soon, but it'll be as it breaks up through. I think it's here. If that level was to continue to build, it's a long way off. I'm not putting it in the list for that reason. It's there for the weekly and that's all. Meta is a little bit, no thank you. Metal, well, another big spike there. Bullish candle in the zone, not one that I liked, by the way. Again, there's a massive pump and then a pull back, and then again, poof, up. How long did that actually last? Oh, geez. Not long at all. Nia, nah. Again, without that cyclicity, without that nice flowing trending market, it doesn't get a look in. For Neo, doesn't look too bad. It's got to get it at $60 for a little cradle would be quite nice. There is a little pullback here, so that could work, but it's got a long way to go, so it's not going to make my list right now. OKB is a little bit caught up. It's as it has been making higher lows and higher highs, but only just making higher highs and only just making higher lows. It's not one that I'm interested in. OMG had a great day a couple of days back, 25%. I'd much prefer to see the candle down in here. not right up here. Still a lot of volatility around on these 4-hour candles. We're seeing shifts of 14%, nearly 5, 10, another nearly 10 and another nearly 10. So it's there's a little bit too much going on there. I'm not interested in that on the 4-hour as it stands. Ontology, nothing there. Orbs is very, very thin. Not really one for me to be able to trade. Oxy stepping out quite nicely. There was a cradle, but again, this has very little liquidity. As you'll note through here, all these little funny looking dots and spikes. Not one for me. Oh, you got the metal pump, Jeffrey. Nice, mate. Spiky on gold, no thanks. Perp, if you were somebody who did take this daily cradle, you'll have had your 1-to-1, and now you'll be hoping for it to move higher. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else that I'm really that interested in. Oops. Let me just have a double check on that. There is a higher low. There is a higher high. If anything, maybe the 8-hour, but again, it's not one that I'm overly interested in. Priv Perp, grinding out, needs to push high again to keep that cyclicity going. What I mean by that, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. Therefore, it needs to push to a new higher high to really sort of keep that cyclicity going and to open up opportunities to trade it. But they're not there just yet. Pundy, an absolute mess. Qtum. The 8-hour, possibly. It's got a long time to wait. Yeah, it's not anytime soon. Ray. I don't think so. No. No, just a little bit strange looking with a couple of big spikes and whatnot. Not much cyclicity. Reef is pretty much the same. Reef would be fine on a daily if it pulled back for a cradle in here. Of course, it's nowhere near that right now, so can't speculate on that. Rook, couple of big days, but again, just straight line, straight up in the air, and very thinly traded again as well. Reserve right sideways. Rune is moving, but with spikes all over the shop. Sand, very messy. Seacoin, good push to through the weekend, but again, very messy. Seco, ooh, this could be all right. Let's go low. Again, it's just not quite there. The market is moving higher, but it's not. We're not getting that flow, that the way the market, like when we had that bullish run into Christmas, we had a market that was confident. It looked sure of itself. And the way it was moving was really cyclical and it was really tradable. We're just not quite seeing that flow through just yet. Yeah, sure, there's trades out there. There's just not as many as I thought that we might have at the moment, given that we are getting some upward momentum. Look, it can change very, very quickly too, by the way, so don't let that be a concern. It need not be. There's not enough there either on synthetics. It's just too disjointed. So I'll leave it. Solana. Now this bloody Solana just keep on keeping on. Do I think it means big pullback? Not necessarily, no. It might just be getting started. It might just, it may just be that, yeah, it's just getting started. If it can kick through a couple of bits and pieces, the problem we've got is a lot of the 4-hour trends, they're a bit like they're sort of in between. They've pulled back, the trends are set, but they haven't taken that next step. And that's what I'm waiting for. We need that next step to be taken. And if it can be taken, excellent, excellent, excellent. Speaking of excellent, Solana just keeps on knocking it out of the park. And I didn't take this back over here. Look, the trend's there. It's hard to deny it. What I want to see, though, is I want to see cyclicity, maybe the half hour. What if I do this? It's kind of hard to work out. I'm going to hitch it to here. I don't suspect I'm going to find too much. It's that attractive. No. All right. So I'm just trying to make a triangle fit a round space, really. And the fact of the matter is, it's just running hard. That being said, with the fact that Solana is trending so well to the upside, it will open up opportunities if it continues to do that on pullbacks and whatnot. It's just that we're divergent on this high here. I mean, there's a little one. It's just not standing out as being absolutely clear as to what to do here. I'm sure that there are plenty of people that are trying to short this at the moment. And that's fine. At some point, they'll probably get it right. However, for me, this is a prime example as to why I'm a trend follower. Because, you've got to remember that from those lows when Bitcoin and everything bottomed out to this high, it was up 263%. But that's not all. People think, oh, geez, that's gone a long way. It's actually up nearly 7x since back on that low back in July. That's pretty bloody special. Pretty bloody special. So I follow trends. I don't try and pick tops or pick bottoms. I follow trends, and it just makes it so much easier to make it work. I find it does anyway. There's not much there on Serum. Again, just a straight line, big push, 10% today. Siren, very, very messy. STMX. There's a trend, there's a bullish candle, but it's not all that attractive to my eye. Is there a flat level? Ooh, maybe. What if it did? What if it did? What if it did? I know it's not exact there, guys, but something around there. You know what? There's two tests. Again, I'd like to see this now come up, test again, fall away, higher, lower again. I will actually keep that in the list. I will watch that just to come back every now and again and have a little sticky beak. Because where it is on the daily as well, just have a look. I know it was a, massive move up and then quite a strong pullback as well. But we do have an uptrend there on the daily, and I can't argue with that, can't ignore it. Storage is just a mess. Stacks is not very nice. Sushi is not very nice, nor is Swipe. Theta has started to move. Let's see. Again, there's that big spike candle that really kind of messed up so many of our charts. Trending nicely, then ruins itself. And it appears that that's the theme. It has just ruined itself. So, yeah, I can't do anything with that either. We need to get rid of those. We need to get the next stage of that step up out of the way. Excuse me. Would I be cautious trading something like Sol because it's overextended on the daily? Oh, yes and no. It depends on how it makes you feel if you're going to get stopped out. I mean, you can always reduce your risk. That's a way of, being able to comfortably, continue to follow a very strong trend, but also understand that, yeah, it's overextended. Just back that little risk back and you're good. Just got stopped out at full 5-1 on step per 2 hour. Nice work, mate. Back in the black. Well done. Well done. See, it doesn't take very many. You just need to take good trades and the numbers come back to you. TrueFi, not too spectacular there. Tron, not much happening. Nothing much happening there on Uniperp until it gets up, either building up into that resistance point, breaking above it. Of course, there's a higher low high, another higher low. We need that higher high on Uniswap protocol here to continue to make it look something like its brother. Because have a look at Uniswap. That's a heck of a trend, right? Let's look at this too. What's it trending to? 2 hour looks pretty good here. I mean, it's pulling back. Let's go lower again. Ooh. It's a bit thin though, isn't it? I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. If it does pull back, I might look at a trade in there. I'll have to look at the liquidity because I don't want to have a full position on if there's little liquidity because I probably wouldn't get filled anyway. But that trend, it's just so smooth. I mean, look at that. Over the last, I don't know, how many days is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Over the last 9 days, it's up nearly 44% in a straight line pretty much. But they're not huge candles. It's quite consistent. I'm really just dying for Bitcoin to start to do this. If it does that, Wouldn't it be a wonderful, wonderful thing? VeChain, not much interest there. Waves. Again, not much. NEM is spiky as all buggery. Apart from the big blip here, we're in the right spot. That's going in the list. Stellar on the 2. No problem. How about the 1? It is there on the 1, but I'll hang out for that 2, I think. I'm going to wait on that 2. Oops. Yeah, that's good. Oh, and also if it goes further, obviously the 4 hour still fits. It's just that the 2 hour looks a lot more likely and closer to us time frame wise. XRP, if you look at the 8 here, it started to move. I'd like to see it move a bit further, then pull back in. We've sort of finally gotten up through that consolidation period. It could continue to run. It might not, but either way, we do have a trend there, and I will wait and see what goes on. It's not going to go into the list, but I will watch that. Tezos, silly bloody things, just crab walking again. Look at the chart structure. That's a mess. I have no interest. None interest whatsoever. Nor on DeFi money. Yeah, nothing there. Zcash, maybe the 8. If it pulls back in the 8, sure. It's going to take a bit of time for that to eventuate, probably tomorrow morning or 2 a.m. Zilliqa, Spike, OX, 8 hour maybe. Again, a fair old time to wait. And then we come down to a couple of index markets here. No interest there as we go lower high to low, then to high. So trend is not really there. It's a little bit confused. What did I just see then? I mean, what about the next one? What's that look like? Ooh, that's ugly. You know, if it's not clear, it's not there. And for me, it's taken too long to look at that, so therefore it's not clear to me. And that's the end of that list. Bitcoin, okay, flat. Let's go ahead and look at what we've got in the blue. Algo, 4 hour pullbacks on the cards, as well as I think it was a really low down here. Oh, that's right. I wanted to see it move further and then pull back. So for the time being, it's the 4 hour, unless it moves higher. Basic attention token. Watching this here on the 8 for a pullback in. CRO. If it does come back down into here, I want to be aware if I get a small bullish candle. Just waiting on that, really. Just waiting. Little level on Dragon. That is starting to come about. It needs to come back up, retest. It needs to build in for that breakout to come to something of interest. If it does not do that and it breaks through, pullbacks into that level would be plan B. EOS, what have we got here? Yeah, it's not too bad on the 8. Again, it's going to take quite a lot of time. All right, so just be aware. You'll have to be waiting a while there. On the 1 hour, ultimately a bullish candle off of this level. We got a 61.8% fib, and a little bullish candle in there off of that old resistance will be very, very nice indeed. On to Litecoin, which was the 8, I believe. If that closes bullish and no bigger, really, I don't want it any bigger, then that's definitely something to consider. STMX. Yeah, it's coming off pretty hard here. I want to see it come back up into there, and it's got to start turning that way soon. Slow burn, but maybe later. And yeah, Uniswap. Probably looking at more on the 30 here. If I got a little pullback into here, it might actually give something. It's a little bit thin, so just be careful with the size of your orders there. And finally, Stellar, as it does re-enter back into this cradle zone, watching the 2 hour, but also the 4 hours got options there as well. So there you go, guys. That is our list that I've created from that perp list. Thoughts on ADA? It's sideways. Just jumped on, so apologize if covered. The graph. What's the graph? It didn't make the list. Oh, sorry, Hedera. Yeah, so I did just cover it, didn't I? Looking for a little bullish candle in here. Excellent. Well, there you go, guys. That's our run through the market. A bit of a scan, 40 odd minutes. Hope you've had a great day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. And if you'd like to get access to the free course before we make those changes I've been speaking of, then go to TRADERCOBB.com and get on the Become a Trader course right away. Or just go and get on the Become a Master course. Good content there, good education, and you can join the community for a bit of backup support as well. You have a great day. I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Bye for now.